What's going on, everybody? SLB coming at you with another video review, and this time we'll be taking a look at Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Grax and Skullsmahser, not Skull Cruncher. Why they changed the name, I have no idea. But here is Skullsmahser in the packaging, and I'm apologizing ahead of time if I accidentally call him Skull Cruncher. But Skullsmahser, Grax in the packaging. Nice packaging here. A very nice picture. That's very clearly you can see Grax decapitated from Skullsmahser's body right there. Clamshell packaging. On the bottom here you just have his animal mode. Titans Return Deluxe Class Grax Skullsmahser, ages 3 and up. On this side it's that same artwork with Titans Return. This side, nothing. On the back of the packaging, you do have your product shots. Robot mode, animal mode. The headmaster can fit inside the animal mode. A brief bio here. Let's see if we can get you to read that. I don't know if you want to read it, but there it is right there if you want to. Yep. So yeah, there's your bio there. He's compatible with, works with, all that fun stuff. Deluxe, Voyager, Leader. Flip that around. You also have Terrible, Scourge, Galvatron, and Autobot Blaster. So there you have that. Warning, these headmasters are really small. Do not eat them. They are not food. Do not try to make alligator jerky or gator jerky out of this guy. It will not taste good. So that's it for the packaging. Let's get him out of the packaging and see what he looks like in hand, shall we? Alright, well here is Grax and Skullsmahser out of the packaging, and it's a nice figure. Some major quality control issues with this guy. But let's first go into what's included in the packaging. Included in the packaging is your standard instructions. Yay for instructions. And you also get a collector card with that same artwork from the front of the packaging, which I really do like. I do like that. Skullsmahser, Titans Return, Hasbro, all that good stuff. And you flip it over, and you have your... wow, I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a massive blank here, and I apologize. Tech specs. Sure. Let's call them tech specs. Pretty strong, not that fast, very smart, and not a lot of firepower. But, yeah. Wow. Sorry about blanking on that, but... There's your collector's card. Also included in the packaging, you do get a little weapon, a little blaster here. Really nicely done. I like the molding on this guy. You can tell that that's a scope and that's the barrel. And yeah, it's very nice. I do like it. Also included in the packaging, you do get the tail, which just plugs on right back there. Sorry for knocking Grax over. And here is Grax, also included in the packaging. And let's focus on him really quickly, shall we? Getting here close, you can see the nice molded detail on this guy. I do like it. I like the gold picked out there for his face, and the nice molded detail for his torso and legs. So, really quickly, articulation-wise, the head is on a little ball joint. You can do a full 360, like so. The arms are on a ball joint. You can only go up about that high, which is a great range of movement for these little guys. Can only go out about that far. Hips, knees, bend, bendaroo, waveroony, and there you go. And yes, I just said waveroony, and I apologize. Not really. For comparison purposes, let's bring in Titan Master Skytrud and Apeface, just so you can get a comparison of what all these guys look like together. And see if we can get the camera in there really close. Very nice. Very nice. I do like that. I do. I really, really do. They look great together. I like the color scheme that all these guys have. It makes it feel like, yes, these are bad guys. So yeah. For another comparison, I did bring Fans Project's Function X Crocs Headmaster here. And yes, the Fans Project is a little bit taller, but again, you can still tell that it's the pretty much same figure, which is really nice. I really do like that. Yeah. And another comparison, Legends Class Combiner Wars Blackjack, just for giggles. Alright. So, that's it for the Headmaster. Let's put the, Titan Master. Let's put the Titan Master off to the side and take a look at Skullsmahser here himself. And before I go into my nitpick quality control issues, let's go over the basics first. Articulation-wise, the head is on a great ball joint. I mean, you can get some really nice poses. It's a very solid, it's not super tight, it's not super loose. It's a great ball joint. You can get some nice poses. You can make them look up, you can make them look down, you can make them look left a little bit, right a little bit. That's great. The mouth can open as well. So again, you can get some really great poses with that nice ball jointed neck right there. I do like that. The front legs right here, there's a mushroom peg here, so you can get some swivel action there. And there's a bend right here as well. And the front claws can just swivel up and down like that. The back legs are on a ball joint. You can do a full 360 on these guys, make him look like he's scratching himself right about there. And the tail is just on a peg right there that tends to fall off sometimes. So, yep. There is that. Going over the paint apps and the molding here, I do like the way this guy looks. I do like the paint scheme. I do like the green and this maroonish color right here along with the white. I do like it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I like it. There are some issues I have, like it's just a lot of green up here and a lot of the maroon color back here. I would like if they broke it up a little bit better somehow. Those eyes are nicely picked out in red. And I do like the scales up top here. I do like how they kind of flow all throughout the figure. It's not just here, stops, and then continues on again the tail. It's just nice flow of the scales here. I do like that. I do love the mouth on this guy, and that sounded wrong, and I'm sorry, but the reason why I do is because the teeth, again, like Fans Project, it's not just like your standard every tooth. It's like you've got some front teeth here, some teeth here, a gap, and some teeth there, and some teeth down here, and teeth and a gap. I do like that because when you leave it closed like that, you can see, oh, it's only got a few teeth. You open up, oh, there's more teeth. I'm gonna bite you. Sorry about that. And the tongue, picked out in white and some nice molding. I don't know how well you can see that on the tongue. Some really nice molded detail there on the tongue. Some nice molded detail here on the side here to give it kind of like a mechanical hinge jaw right there, which looks really nice. And not a lot of molded detail on this guy because it gives him that animalistic look of just like a smooth, somewhat scaly look, and I do like that. All throughout here, some molded detail. And I do like this little painted bit right here to kind of break up the green. And I do like the mechanical look of the legs here, some nice molded detail on the legs as well as the tail there. And one of my issues is this massive gap right here between this back section and the tail. Yeah. And same thing on this side, it's just same color scheme and everything, same molded detail. Nothing exciting about that. Let's get into a comparison really quickly. And I just do happen to have Fans Project's Function X Crocs right here for comparison. And I do like the flat look, the flat color look on this figure, but the glossy look makes it look more lizard and reptilian-like, which I do like. Don't get me wrong, I still love this figure, but I do appreciate the glossy look on Skullsmahser here. Let's close that back up and just give you some. Yeah. But what I'm talking about is you see how on Fans Project it's green and that maroonish color here, and it's broken up so it's like half and half, top and bottom. Whereas Skullsmahser here, it's front and back, and it just kind of bothers me a little bit that it's like that. If they kind of went with that kind of this kind of motif, I think this would have been a better figure. For another comparison, here he is with Legends Class Blackjack, just for size comparisons. So yeah, not too many comparisons there. And I know you saw at the beginning of the video, but there's a comparison with this Headmaster. And like other Titan Masters in the deluxe figures, he can store in a compartment in the back part here. Quality control issue number 1. This is a soft rubbery plastic, very bendable. It makes it kind of difficult. There's not a real natural stopping point to put this down, so when you put it down, you push too hard, you push it into the cavity, and it kind of makes it hard to get back out. The Takara version, I know, is a plastic painted this green color, which I would have preferred more than this soft rubbery part right here. But you just take the Titan Master here, fold up the arms like so, bend them at the hips, bend them at the knees, get them in a seated position like that, and really quick before we stick them in there, there's some really nice molded detail inside the cockpit there. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's really some really nice molded detail in there. You got a little viewfinder in the front there, which I do like. Just plop him in, and there he goes. And you can also take the blaster here, you just flip them upside down. There's a hole right there on the handle for the blaster, just fits right in there. But I'm warning you right now, super tight. Don't push it in too far, or else you're going to have a heck of a time pushing it back out. And quality control number 2, when you put that in there for storage, even though you're not pushing in, you're pushing it as far as you can, it hinders. Let me bring this down a little bit so you can see. It hinders that back section, so this doesn't come down and the feet don't touch. So that's quality control issue 2. Let's take this out so I can show you quality control issue number 3. And my biggest nitpick of this is the back section right here. I don't know how well you can tell, but you see on the inside how it's kind of curved in a little bit on each side. Each side has like a curved in. When you're trying to get him into animal mode, see how easy that was to come apart? There's a slot up here and a slot down here and a tab on either side, and you're supposed to be able to compress it to make them connect. But the fact that they're curved in makes it very difficult to A, line it up correctly, and B, connect them. So what I like to do is I try to get them as best as I can lined up, like so, and just very slowly, as I'm pushing them up, kind of push them together. And it's very hollow in here, and this is a very thin plastic, so be careful when you're trying to do that. You gotta bend it at a certain area, and it's just really annoying. Like that. There we go. And then when you get to the final position here, try to push it together as quickly as you can, or as best you can, and then plug the tail on, and that will hold. But the minute you pop this tail off, those parts are going to come apart again. So yeah, those are my 3 quality control issues with, the rubber up here, the gun storage, and this back section. So big 3 nitpicks. Let's move on, shall we? Let's get him into robot mode and see what he looks like in robot mode, shall we? Okay, well, here is Skullsmahser in his robot mode. But before we get into robot mode, I wanted to show you something with the accessories for him. So we just kind of carefully push him back out of the way so we can show you this. With the tail section can become a melee weapon that the robot mode can hold in his hand, but there's something in the instructions. That they don't tell you that you can do with the tail section. You're probably wondering, why is there a white part right here that folds down like that? So what you do, the tail section is you take the Titanmaster here, fold up his arms like so, fold him at the hips so he's in a seated position like that, and inside the tail section, if you flip it upside down, there's a section here where the Titanmaster can sit. Just kind of wedge him in there a little bit, very securely too, I might add. He's not going to fall, but fits in there just like that. You take the blaster here, and that's Moose. Just kind of fit it in there like that. And you take this port right here, and for like Soundwave or whoever, their base mode, you can plug this in everywhere, and he's got a little seated gun position right there. He can shoot people from a base mode, which I think is really cool. I'm really upset they don't tell you that in the instructions, but it's there for you if you want. So let's just put those to the side right now. Let's focus on the Headmaster here. Titanmaster, sorry. To me, it's a Headmaster. So for head mode, you just fold him at the hips, fold him at the knees, like so, and voila! There he is in his head mode. And for comparison, here he is with Apeface. Let's see if I can do this and Skytread. So yeah, again, that same color scheme showing you that yes, these are bad guys, and so on and so forth. And again, for another comparison, this is Fans Projects Function X Croc Headmaster, and I like they had the same motif going on with the color scheme. I do like that, but I do like this head sculpt just as much as I like this head sculpt. I like the gold faceplate here. I like how the eyes are kind of depicted in a kind of blackish color there. I do like that. I would have liked it if this emblem up here, this crest here at the top of his head, I don't know why you can see that. Let's get the light in there. There's a little molded detail right here for a crest right there, or a gem. I would have liked it if they painted that in a little bit more, but I do like the overall shape of the head. I do like that the robot arms are kind of kept in with the profile of the faceplate, and it's all one smooth transition there. I do like that. So to plug him in, you just look for the port at the top of the robot here and plug him in. So let's go over articulation really quickly. For the robot mode, articulation wise, the head is on that ball joint, can do a full 360, cannot look up all that much, cannot look down all that much either, and you guys can't see. So let me just raise the camera up a little bit here. Sorry. That's the way. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, people. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. All right. So the shoulders right here on a ball joint on the inside, you can get some. There's not a lot of movement here in the ball joints and the shoulders. You can do a full 360, but if you want to get his arms pointing out this way, you can just use this joint right here, but it kind of looks weird. There is a swivel right here on the upper biceps, just a mushroom peg. And there's a 90-degree bend at the elbow, which I do like. No articulation in the hand, just for transformation there, but you can give him like somewhat claws in robot mode if you wish. Super tight. Oh, there's also a swivel joint right here too. Fold that hand back out. There we go. You do have a waist swivel. The hips. Ooh, now we're getting to dark waters here, people. The hips are on ball joints. You can go forward about that far. You can go back all the way back. There is a bend at the knee here. There's actually a double jointed bend, so you can get some pretty good range of movement there. Just forgot about the swivel at the hips. Excuse me, I just hiccuped. No toe articulation, just for transformation purposes. You do have that right there. So let's get him situated here. Let's just get him like that for right now. He can hold his melee weapon in his hand. Just plug it in like that. And he can hold his blaster like so. So let's go to some comparisons here, shall we? for comparison purposes, here he is next to Deluxe Class Combiner Wars Swindle. It's about the same height, give or take. I do like the way that they look together. I really do. And for another comparison, here he is next to Fans Project Function X Crocs. Very nice. And again, same motif, same color scheme. It's just a glossy color. Looks better to my opinion. But don't get me wrong, I do like this figure. But I do like that glossy look instead of the... So, there is that. Now, we went over some QC issues in Beast mode. Let's go over the QC issues in Robot mode. Let's get these weapons out of the way. The QC issues from the hips down. Super loose, ball jointed hips. Super loose. I can't explain, words cannot explain how loose the hip joints are. Words cannot explain how loose this mushroom swivel is right here. It's just ridiculously loose. I don't know if Hasbro could spend a couple more minutes on these guys. It's not just my figure. I've heard from numerous people that they have issues with the hips and the swivel right here, that they're super loose. It's very difficult to stand him up and have him keep a good pose because of those joints. And see how easy that popped off? I mean, I'm literally not putting any force on him whatsoever, and he's really difficult to stand up. Another issue I have, the hollowness of the back of the feet. This is ridiculous. I just don't know why this is so hollow. It would be nice if these the back leg kind of folded in to kind of fill that gap. But if you did that, you would lose what they consider heel spurs, which are the animal back feet. But there's a slight curvature under the foot here, so it's really difficult to get him to stand still. You have to seriously get everything in order to get him to stand straight up, and the slightest movement of him will mess everything up to where he can't stand up. It is really bad. Now, I'm not saying don't buy this figure. I'm just warning you what you're getting into when you get this figure. It's a good figure, except for the massive quality control issues that he has. I like the look of the robot mode. I like the look of the animal mode, beast mode. It's just know what you're getting yourself into. And if you know how to fix the issues, fix the issues. That's all I'm saying. Just know what you're getting into. Okay? So, that is it for my review of Titans Return, Grax, and Skullsmahser. This is SLB. Leave a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Support me on Patreon. All that information is in the description down below. This is SLB, and this has been my review of the Titans Return, oh God. This is SLB. This has been my review of Titans Return, Skullsmahser, and Grax, and this is SLB saying, my childhood hates me.